Hello, Infotech students. This is Mrs. Pancoke. I am going to record lesson 6 for you so you can follow along. Hit pause if you need to continue working on this lesson. So for this lesson, we're going to be creating tables, formatting tables, and managing tables. So before you begin, launch Microsoft Word, open a new blank document. I am going to turn off these grid lines. Okay. Step 1, on the Insert tab in the Tables group, we are going to point to the cell in the 5th column, and we are going to create 2 rows. So we're just using this grid to make our table. Okay. It says to click below the table and press the Enter key twice. Okay. Save the document as tables. So I need to make a new folder called Lesson 6. Oops, new folder. Click, and I'm going to name my document Tables. Save. Okay. Now we're going to click on the Insert tab. I'm on step 1. And we're going to open the Tables button, this time clicking on Insert Table. It says in the number of columns box, type 9. In the number of rows box, type 3. And we're going to have an AutoFit width. Okay. Click below the table. So now I have this table that looks like that. I'm going to press the Enter key twice. Okay. And I'm going to save the document as Tables 2. All right, so that was step 7. I'm scrolling down. Okay, if your ruler is not displayed on the View tab in the Show group, I'm going to select the Ruler checkbox. Okay. Step 2, page 109, says make sure your insertion point is at the bottom of your document. So I want to make sure this is on. If you need to, also make sure that Show Hide button is on. And I'm going to click on the Insert tab, Tables button. This time I'm going to choose Draw Tables. And I'm going to notice that when I move my mouse, I have these hash marks that show up on my ruler. I'm going to draw a table that is approximately 6 inches wide. So I'm going to go over to the 6. And almost 3 inches tall. So there's 1 inch, 2 inches, about 5.5, and 6. I want to make sure that I line these up. There's my table. Okay, so step 6 right here, so it should look something like that. It says start at about the 1 inch down from the top border. Okay, I want to make sure I still have my Draw Table button selected. And I'm going to go down about 1 inch, so maybe about right there. And I'm going to draw a line. Okay. Then it says draw 2 more horizontal lines below the first one about 1/2 inch. So about right there. Okay. And another one would be maybe about right there. Okay. Then it says starting at the 1 inch mark on the top, I'm going to draw vertical lines to make my cells of my table. Now this doesn't have to be perfect, but there we go. Should look something like that. Okay. If you draw a line in the wrong position, you can click the eraser button and you can go through and erase that line. Okay, I'm going to click undo though because I want those lines. All right. So your document should look something like this. Click the Draw Table button to turn the pencil tool off. Okay. And then click below the table and press the Enter key twice to create blank lines. If necessary, save the document as Tables 3. So I'm going to click Save As, Lesson 6. Save it as Tables 3, and click Save. Pause, leave the document open to use in the next exercise. So on the Insert tab in the Tables group, I'm going to click on Quick Tables. Okay. And I'm going to choose Calendar 2 option. Okay. So another way to, this is actually a table that just looks like a calendar. You can edit the data in the calendar to display the current month and year. So, you could change this to say October. Actually, I'm going to click the undo button here. Insert, table, quick tables. Basically, you'd have to type this in. So I could type October. And then I could go through and change the days to reflect our current month. Okay, so File, Save As. I'm going to save this as Tables 4. Save. Okay. And then I can pause, leave Word open to use in the next exercise. I'm not going to be using Tables 4, but I am going to be using Word. So I'm going to go to File, Open. And I'm going to browse to my data files, Lesson 6, and I need to open up the client's document. I'm going to click Enable Editing, and I want that to be my document. I'm going to close out of this. Okay. So, position the insertion point anywhere in the table. Step 1, page 111. On the Table Tools Design tab, says in the Table Styles group, click the More arrow, and we're going to choose Grid 3, Table 3, Accent Style 3, which is this one. Okay. Say the document as Client's Table. Okay. There's my table. Okay. We're still using the same document. I'm on steps, modify the tables, page 112, step 1. Make sure that the insertion point is still in the table. If you click outside the table, the design and layout tabs will not be available. So if I click outside the table, I need to come all the way down here. Notice that my table tools are not open. So to get back into it, I have to click inside the table. On the Table Tools Design tab, in the Table Styles group, I'm going to click the More arrow, and I'm going to go down here to Modify Table Style. Notice that this is still applied. Okay. In the Apply Formatting box, I'm going to click the drop down arrow and choose First Column. Okay, and then I'm going to click the Format button, Step 5, and I'm going to select the Font button. I should see this box pop up. I'm on Step 6. With the Font dialog box open, I'm going to find Garmin Font. And the font style group, select Bold Italic, font size of 12. And I'm going to change my font color to Olive Green Accent 3, darker 50%. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to click OK to this box to close my modify. Nothing should have happened to my table so far. It should still look like this. Okay. In the table styles option group, I'm going to select the first column box. The style changes that you made should appear. So I should look like this right now. Save the document as clients to table. Table space 2. Save. All right, I'm scrolling down. I'm going to use AutoFit now. So on the table, so I'm selected in my table. It says in the tables group, in the table tools layout tab, in the tables group, I'm going to click the view grid lines button. Okay. Then it says on the table tools layout tab in the cell size group, I'm going to click AutoFit. And I'm going to select AutoFit contents. Okay, my table should now look like this. Good, so I'm going to click File, Save As, and I'm going to save it as Clients Table 3. Okay. I'm going to use the document that was open, click the first column, and position the mouse pointer over the horizontal ruler to show the first column marker. These gray boxes are called column markers. Okay, so I'm going to click and drag the column marker to the right just until the contents in the first column fit in a single line. So if I zoom out, notice I have a couple of words that are lagging on that second line. I'm going to drag it until science down here goes up to that next line. It says the width automatically adjusts to 2.9. If yours isn't 2.9, you can type that in up here as well, and then it will make sure it's perfect. Okay. Position the insertion point in the phone numbers column. And it says we're going to choose the select button and we're going to choose select column. So I'm choosing the whole column. On the table tools layout tab in the cell size group, I'm going to click the up arrow in the width box. This is the width box until it reads 1.1. Okay. So it should look something like that right now. Okay. Place insertion anywhere in the first row. And I'm going to click the select button again to choose select row. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here on my screen. Okay. On the table tools layout tab in the size group, click the dialog box launcher and click the row tab. Select the specify height button and click the up arrow until it reads 0.5. Then click next row. And notice that the changes are applied only to the first row. By clicking next row, the selection moves down one row. Click OK. In the cell size group, notice that the height for row 2 is now 0.14 and row 1 is 0.5. Okay. If you want to go in and change this to 0.14, you can. You don't have to. Okay. didn't change much. Um, click in any cell to remove the selection, and then save the document as client's table 4. Save. Okay, create a header row. Position the insertion point anywhere inside the table. On the Table Tools Layout tab, click the Select button, and we're going to click Select Table. On the Home tab, we're going to change the font size to 14. Okay, and it should make our table extend to the next page. Okay, place the insertion point on the first row. Okay, this is the first row at the top. And I'm going to, on the Table Tools Layout tab, click the Rows and Columns button. Oops, right. In the Rows and Columns group, I'm going to click the Insert Above button, which is right here. A new blank line should appear. On the Table Tools Design tab, in the Styles option group, select Header Row. Okay, and type the headings in the cells of the table's first row as shown in this figure. So I'm going to type this in. Tab. I'm going to skip that. Okay. So it should look similar to this picture right here. Okay. On the table group of the Table Tools Layout tab, click the Select button, and we're going to click on Select Row. Okay. On the Table Tools Layout tab, in the Data group, we're going to click Repeat Header Rows button. Okay. Scroll down and view the heading on the second page. So this heading that I typed up here is going to be repeated down here. Okay. Click anywhere in the table to deselect and position the insertion point anywhere inside the table. On the Table Tools Layout tab, in the Tables group, we're going to click the Select button and select Table. On the Home tab, we're going to change the font size to 12. As long as the content extends to the new page, the headings will appear, regardless of the size. Save the document as Client's Table 5. Okay, we're going to use the same document. Place the insertion point anywhere in the first column. Oops. Oops. I kind of scrolled up there. Whoops. Let's go down here. Okay. Place the insertion point anywhere in the first column. I'm on Sort a Table Content on page 116, step number 1. On the Table Tools Layout tab, in the Tables group, click the Select button and click Select Column. On the Table Tools Layout tab in the Data group, we're going to click the Sort button. The Sort dialog box appears. Okay, because you selected company name should be in the Sort By column. And the Sort By text should say text, and the using, we should see paragraph. Okay, if you click on here, there are other options for text, but we're just going to leave it as text. Okay, so it should look something like this. We're going to click OK, and our information should have been alphabetized. Okay, we're going to File, Save As, save it as Clients Table 6. Position the insertion point on the header row. So that would be the top row of page 1. Select the cell that contains contact person. So I'm going to highlight it. Okay. On the Table Tools Layout tab, in the Merge group, we're going to click Merge. Oh, whoops. We also need to select this blank one right here. Okay. And we're going to choose Merge Cells. So if I have a blank cell and a cell with something in it, I can merge them together. So we're going to make one cell like that. Okay. In the Position Title column, on the Lucerne Publishing row, so I'm going to click on this cell down here. Okay. I am going to click the Split Cells button. Okay. And I want to split it with number of columns 2 and number of rows 1. Okay, we're going to click OK. And it should look something like this right now. I should have like a little cell right there. I'm going to select VP Public Relations, and I'm going to drag it and drop it into this new cell so that it looks something like that. Okay. Now, in company name, I'm going to scroll down to Woodgrove Bank cell, and I'm going to click Split Cells again. This time, I'm going to change my number of columns to 1 and my number of rows to 2. And I'm going to click OK. All right. Then it says place the insertion point in front of Woodgrove Bank, and I'm going to press and hold the mouse button to select the 2 rows, and I'm going to merge them back together. So it's back to one cell. Okay. And then I'm going to click the Undo button. Okay, and I'm going to File, Save As. I'm going to save it as Clients Table 7. Save. Okay. Position the insertion point in the telephone numbers column. In the Table Tools Layout tab, I'm going to click the Select button and select the whole column. In the Alignment group, I'm going to click the Cells Margin button. Okay, I should see a dialog box, and it says I'm going to change the top and bottom margins to 0.03. 0.03. So I'm just going to type it in. Okay, click OK. The phone numbers no longer fit in one column. Okay, with the telephone numbers still selected, click the Cell Margins button. Change the left and right margins to 0.03 as well. I'm just typing it in. Okay, click OK. Okay, They should now fit in one line. With the telephone number column still selected, we're going to click the cell margins button one more time, and we're going to select allow spacing between cells. We're going to change this to 0.09. Okay, and I'm going to click OK. So now I have changed my spacing between my cells. Okay, I'm going to File, Save As, save it as Clients Table 8. Save. Scrolling down. Now I'm going to add alternative text. Place the insertion point anywhere in the table on page 1. Okay. On the Table Tools Layout tab in the Tables group, I'm going to click the Select button and I'm going to choose Select Table. It says to click the Properties button. Okay. And I'm going to click on the Alternative Text tab. In the title box, I'm going to type Listing by Company. And in the description box, I'm going to type contact listing of individuals by company. The listing includes phone numbers, current positions that are open, and titles for the contact person. Click OK. And I'm going to save the document as Clients Table 9. Save. And then it tells me to close the file. Okay, it's asking me to open up Clients Table 6. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Close out of this. Okay. Position the insertion point anywhere in the name and in the number of current open positions, which is right here. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to click the Table Tools Layout tab, select column. And I'm going to click the data. I'm going to click the sort button. Okay, this time I'm going to change my sort by area. I'm going to change it. I'm going to select descending right here. And I'm going to, the table is sorted according to number and number of current open positions. I'm going to click OK. And it says to scroll to the first row with a value of 0. So that would be this one. Okay. The Adventure Works line. Okay. And on the Table Tools Layout tab, I'm going to click on Split Table. Okay. So my document should look something like this now. Okay. So I'm going to save the document as client's table 10. Save and close. Okay. Now I'm going to go in and open up another data file. For lesson 6, parts numbers. Click Enable Editing. It says to select the whole document, so I can press Control A on my keyboard. On the Insert tab in the Tables group, we're going to click the Table button, and I'm going to click on the Convert Text to Table. Okay. Click OK. Okay, notice that this table should look something like this. It should be one column. In the Tables group, other Table Tools Layout, I'm going to click Select Entire Table if I have not done so yet. Then in the Cell Size group, I'm going to click the AutoFit button, and I'm going to click AutoFit Contents. On the Table Tools Layout tab, click the Properties button, and then select Table tab, and we're going to click in the alignment, center the table, and click OK. Save the document as parts numbers table in your lesson 6 folder. Okay, we're going to use the document that's open. Position the insertion point anywhere in the table. We're going to click the Table Tools Layout tab, click the Select button, select Table. In the Data group, we're going to click the Convert to Text button. Okay, and we want to make sure it's separated by paragraph marks. You can change it to other ways if you need to. We're going to click OK, and it should be back to the regular text. We're going to save as in our lesson 6 folder, part numbers text. We're going to save the document, and we're going to close the document. Okay. Now we're going to be working with formulas. So I'm going to open my sales document. I'm going to close out of this, click Enable Editing, place the insertion point on the last column, be the one that says December, and I'm going to click on Table Tools Layout tab, and I'm going to click Insert Column to the right. In my last box up here at the top, I'm going to type totals. It's total. And then position the insertion point in the last column, second row. And we're going to calculate the total using the formula dialog box. So I'm going to click on Data, and I'm going to click on Formula. Okay, if you're familiar with Excel, then you'll notice similarities in the formula dialog box. Okay, by default, the sum left formula appears. This function totals the values listed, where it automatically detects values in a table when you use the formula dialog box. We're going to click OK. All right, and that sum just tabulated and added all of these boxes up. Okay, we're going to select the total value you just calculated, and we're going to press delete. Click the formula button again, and this time replace the default formula with what it says right here. So we're going to type a B2 colon M2. Okay. And when I do that, it's calculating cells B2 through M2, and it's adding them up. Okay. Repeat the process for this one. So we're going to click on formula. This time I'm going to calculate B3 through M3. Click OK. All right. And then we're going to save the document as sales 2. Save. Okay. All right. Place the insertion point in the total value for 2009. By default, the value is shaded in gray. This value appears with no formatting. To change the formatting, open the formula dialog box. Okay, we're going to click the drop down arrow by number format, and we're going to select the third option. Click OK. It should look like that. Repeat the process for the 2010 number. So I'm going to click the number format arrow, click right there, click OK. We're going to save as sales 3. Okay, and you're done. Go ahead and turn your work into Schoology when you're finished.